Hello again. Because more and more of my GFX friends have created a fashion from the models divided into two meshes, and I've always been asked how to do it, I'll show you some ways. In the end, the same result is obtained, but there are cases in which the models can be altered or destroyed, if certain factors are not taken into account. I've already opened 3ds Max, so let's import a model. For the purpose of this video I will divide into two meshes the face of a ninja character from Metin 2. Once the model is imported, let's put the skeleton in the correct position, as usual. Now, we will hide the parts we did not work with, in my case the skeleton, so as not to confuse us. I will work in the front viewport, because the grid helps me to select exactly the desired parts. Okay, now, the first method would be to split the mesh in two, with the help of detach, then apply the texture individually on each half, and attach them again. This method may be good, and work properly in our case, but there may be cases where it will be necessary to do rigging again. If this happens, and a half lose its smoothness, all you have to do is apply a smooth modifier, and give the same channel type to both halves. Now I will open the material editor, and I will simply drag the textures on two free slots, after which I will assign them to each half accordingly. It looks okay, and there are no visual glitches, but I repeat, if the attachment is not done correctly, it will have to be rigged again. Always, in order to avoid rigging, in a word, a waste of time, the half that has already applied skin will be the one to which it is attached. Now, let's undo all the changes, and try another method. The second method I want to show you is to delete half of the mesh, and clone the remaining one in the mirror. This method also works, though, and although I don't like to repeat myself, it's not always effective. Now let's repeat the assignment of the textures, for each half. What I want to mention though, is the fact that you will lose the possibility of attachment being a clone, however you will still have the mirror options. As I said earlier, you will lose the possibility of attachment being a clone, however you will still have the mirror options. Now, let's undo all the changes, and try another method. This method may not be the best, but it is the method I use frequently. What is good about using this method is that you do not have to make any changes to the mesh itself. As with the other two methods presented earlier, we will need to select half of the mesh, but instead of detaching or deleting and cloning that half, we will only set another ID for the selected half. Now, on two free slots in the material editor, we will put the two textures we use. Instead of assigning them directly to the mesh, we will create a third slot, which instead of the standard we will set as multi-sub object. We will discard the old materials, and accept by pressing OK. Now, because we only have two textures to apply, we will set the number as 2. Then, taking into account the half of which we assign the second ID, we will simply pull the materials as instances, copies, in the multi-object slots, these becoming submaterials. Now, when we assign the resulting multi-texture to our mesh, each half will receive the corresponding part of the texture, depending on the ID it has. That's pretty much it about splitting meshes. Use the method that seems most convenient to you or the easiest. After all, the result matters, and if is what you proposed, then the method won't count to much. After all the changes made, you can continue applying the other meshes that your model has, rigging, and finally with the export of the resulting model. As usual, if you have questions, concerns, or problems, write them in the comments section below. And also, if what I do here helps you, don't forget to like, subscribe and tick the bell, to be up to date with everything I post on this channel. Good luck!